Hey, how's it going, guys? MrBossFTW here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 3 secret things you might not have known, including some hidden and cut characters, secret missions, and also just some really cool hidden details that you might not have caught throughout the world of Grand Theft Auto 5. So as you guys know, I love covering cut content and secret things that either 1, didn't make its way into the game, or 2, at a first glance, you wouldn't have even known existed, and that's exactly what we're going to be covering today. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is a cut mission that actually involves someone from Fort Zancudo. That's right, it was actually a military base member, Kyle P. Slater, and you actually had a job for him, according to the game files, and also according to my good friend Zach Cox TV. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. He covered this video as well. He's got some good insight, so check it out if you really want to. He talks about how this mission was supposed to be where a guy hitches a lift back to the Air Force Base. He thanks you and gives you his number. Well, that character is actually Kyle P. Slater, who I'm guessing either works at Fort Zancudo or is an army soldier at Fort Zancudo. And what's great about this is while the character and the mission was actually cut from the game, like you can't actually get to this mission, his phone number is still in the game, and you can actually call it, and he'll actually get his voicemail, and you can kind of hear what he has to say. So the number is 328-555-0145, and if you call this, it should ring for a second, and then you'll eventually reach his voicemail, which will say, "You've reached First Lieutenant Kyle P. Slater. Leave the where, the when, and the how after the tone." And what's actually pretty cool about that is not only can you listen to it, but then you can go into the information and dialogue section under brief in Grand Theft Auto 5. You can see not only what he looks like, but you can see kind of the translation of what he said as well. So again, it looks like he was meant to be built into the game, I'm guessing as like a strangers and freaks side mission where we were actually supposed to pick him up on the side of the road and deliver him back to Fort Zancudo. Now, I think this would have been pretty cool because I don't think there was enough done with Fort Zancudo in Grand Theft Auto 5. I wish there was more missions, or we found out a little bit more about the secrecy of it. And maybe this First Lieutenant Kyle P. Slater would have been our insider guy to get more information regarding this military base. But since it was cut from the game, I guess we'll just really never know. But it is still pretty cool that we can call him, get his voicemail, and kind of figure out what he looks like. All right, so the next secret thing we're going to be covering in Grand Theft Auto 5 is another cut random encounter or side mission that didn't make its way into the final copy of the game, involving Franklin's aunt's friend, Magenta. Now, Magenta can be seen in a few cutscenes. She's kind of like a feminist friend of Franklin's aunt. They do like these weird workouts together and like body enchantment things. If you've ever seen one of the cutscenes, they're really, really weird. But anyways, this mission actually involves Michael. And Michael meets Magenta in the middle of nowhere. She's walking around and chanting. She's doing one of those spirit walks that I guess Franklin's aunt and her friends do. She asks Michael to obtain pure perfection in the body. I'm not exactly sure what that means. She then goes on to buy and wear expensive clothing. Magenta invites Michael to her house. After going to her house, Michael gets invited to a group of elderly people that are having sex, which is really, really weird. Michael obviously becomes disturbed. He exits the building and phones Dr. Freelander asking for more therapy. I would probably need some therapy too if I walked into a room and saw that happening. But it also is funny to note that Michael hates his therapist, Dr. Freelander, and the fact that he wanted more therapy just kind of shows you how creepy this random encounter with Magenta probably was. So again, it looks like it was just one of those funny little things that Rockstar wanted to slip into the game. For whatever reason, it was cut at the last minute. I'm not really too sure why, because even though I don't want to walk in on an old group of elderly people having an orgy, I still think it would be fun to see Michael's reaction and his conversation with Dr. Freelander. I thought that could have been pretty awesome. So again, it is kind of a shame that it was cut from the final game. All right, and finally, last but not least, did you know that Amanda DeSanta, Michael's wife, might actually be in the prologue of the game? Now, I don't know exactly where this started, where this rumor actually came from. I know that a few other YouTubers as well, not Point 4 Live in particular, he has covered this. I'll leave a link to his video in the description also if you want to check it out. And there were some valid points made. So you guys know the prologue. You've probably played it thousands of times by now. You essentially have to rob a bank, bank robbery goes wrong, and you know the whole story from there. But at the very beginning of the game, you notice that a hostage is pushed down. It's like the first thing that happens. A hostage is pushed over. That's kind of how they get the guys behind the wall to open up the door. And if you shoot this hostage, the mission will actually end. It'll say, like, you killed the hostage, and Brad, who's supposed to be holding down the hostage, will in fact state a line if you kill the hostage. And if you eventually kill the hostage enough times, Brad will eventually say a line, so you're not getting none from that ex-stripper. Now, if you didn't know anything about the game or anything about Amanda, you might not have known that she was actually an ex-stripper, and I believe prostitute. It's kind of hinted at that. When Michael met Amanda in North Yankton, or wherever the small town they were living in the trailer park they were at, she was actually a stripper. So when Brad is talking to Michael saying, so you're not getting none from that ex-stripper, she's talking about Amanda. So would that infer that the hostage that Michael, Brad, and Trevor used in their very first heist of the game that we get to see is actually Amanda? Now, if that line wasn't sufficient enough evidence for yourself, the female in the prologue actually looks like Amanda quite a bit. They've kind of got the same facial structure. They have similar hair length. Keep in mind that this would be Amanda 9 years younger than the version we saw in Grand Theft Auto 5. So, of course, there are going to be some slight differences, but you can tell that it looks like the exact same person. So, again, Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for almost like 2.5 years now, and I'm still finding out things that I didn't know about the game, like the fact that Amanda could actually be in the prologue of the game. I'll leave that up to you guys and figure it out if you want to like dive into it a little bit more. And what do you think? Do you actually believe that that's Amanda from the prologue? But anyways, that's all the information that I have for you guys today in this video, and all the secret features and kind of little hidden details that I'm going to be talking about. If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Grand Theft Auto 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.